All right, I did say we'll take you live to the Moses Mabhida Stadium once again. And that's where the EFF, of course, is launching its election manifesto in Durban in KwaZulu-Natal. The party expressing confidence in its growing trajectory at the polls, particularly in that province. Let's go to Sakina Kamwendo now, who is anchoring from the Moses Mabhida Stadium there, joined by some of our other colleagues for the latest. Sakina, very good morning to you once again.
And welcome back to the Moses Mabhida Stadium, and the excitement is building. I can tell you, just looking over my shoulder, the stadium is filling up and filling up fast. It's a sea of red, and if you've joined us in the last few minutes, I'm with our political editor, Mzwayo, as well as our head of research here at SABC, Dr. Ronesh Doraj. And just to pick up, this is, of course, the EFF's 2024 manifesto launch. We could go back and look at what they said in their previous manifestos, but as they are not a party in that is governing, how much of a difference does that make in terms of actually looking at the promises that they've put out as opposed to what has or hasn't been achieved? Mzwayo?
Well, I think people will not necessarily judge them on governance. They will judge them on what they say, and based on what they say, and they look at if it's practical. I mean, I was just looking at part of of what they are going to be saying. For example, on social grants, they are promising to double it. So then the question is it feasible to have the fiscal environment that allows that? So in terms of what is it that they are going to say, judging it against the possibilities and the realities on the ground, that's how they will be judged. So fortunately, they are lucky. They are not in government yet, because with the governing party, it's easy. You'll just say you promised this, you didn't do it. But with them, so they'll basically say, no, but you didn't give us the chance. Just give us the chance, then you can judge us. So I guess they are in a bit of, in inverted commas, in a honeymoon situation.
So Ronesh, if we look at the EFF in KZN, and a nice run through, how they have performed in previous elections, and of course the jury's out on 2024. Yeah. By all indications, it suggests that this is going to be a grueling battle, and KZN as a key battleground, not just for the EFF, but for other political parties as well. But we look at what has happened. For example, the leadership of the EFF in KZN, someone like Vusi Khoza, who is no longer a part of the EFF. Those sort of changes, what sort of impact is that likely to have on the party's performance in this the party's performance in KZN?
I think that's the big tragedy for the EFF in this election, going to the 2024 election campaign, Sakina, because like I mentioned earlier on, if you look at all the data, all the hard, raw data from the past couple of elections, 2014, 2016, 2019, 2021, you can see a clear ascendance of the EFF in KZN. And Vusi Khoza was the man at the center, of that increase in the EFF's vote share. But going back to the real battleground being KZN, remember in 2014 and 2016, the local government elections, and to a certain extent 2009 and 2014, Jacob Zuma was there for the ANC. So when Jacob Zuma was still the president of the ANC and obviously president of the country, the ANC's vote share in KZN rose above 62%, as much as 65%. And when Jacob Zuma was removed as ANC president, obviously as president of the country, not removed as ANC president, but obviously president of the country, the ANC had a remarkable decline. From 64%, it went down to 54%. So that is the number. That is the operative and key number that all the other political parties are actually watching, especially the EFF. And then you look at 2009. 2009 was the IFP's worst showing in the province. I think it was around 10%, and then the ascendance happened in 2019 around 16%. So without Jacob Zuma in the picture, all the other parties know that the ANC is going to dip below that 50% plus one majority. So that's why they are targeting KZN. Like I said, The biggest competition now is for that kingmaker position. Everybody knows, no particular party is going to get 50% plus one. Parties like the EFF, continually rising from 2014, 2016, 2019, 2021, and 2024. They're expecting, a much larger share of that pie, especially in KZN. Going back again to the number of registered voters, Gauteng 23%. KZN is the second largest province in terms of population and in terms of registered voters. Then comes the Eastern Cape, then comes the Western Cape. But especially for the EFF, they're targeting the metros. You look at all the 8 metros. Of all registered voters, 40% of registered voters are sitting in those 8 metros. A key constituency of the EFF is the metros. Julius Malema, the CIC of the EFF, even admitted it, confessed to this in one of his multiple, road shows. He says that we know our constituency. That's why we narrow our focus. So they are targeting the metros, and that's why they're launching their campaign here, their election manifesto right here in KZN, in the heart of eThekwini, in the heart of KZN. Yeah.
Well, you are watching the SABC's coverage of the EFF's 2024 election manifesto, coming to you live from the Moses Mabhida Stadium. We're going to take a quick break. When we come back, we will have the EFF leadership in conversation with us.